Oh boy, quite an intricate story with this record at number 6 on my fantasy playlist. Actually, number 5. We're in the top 5 now. Up from number 6, number 1 R&B hit, Ain't Nobody by Rufus and Chaka Khan on my fantasy playlist, November 20th, 1983. This record was more or less a brainchild of the keyboard player, one of the keyboard players of Rufus. His name, David Walensky. David Hawk Walensky. I'll just call him Hawk. And previously, before he teamed up with Rufus, he worked with Minnie Riperton. You might remember Minnie Riperton. She had that lovely record back in the winter and spring of 1975, Loving You. And Hawk, he was playing a gig. He was doing a gig with Stevie Wonder, opening for Stevie Wonder, or maybe opening with Stevie Wonder. Well, the bottom line is he got together with Michael Cimbello at this gig. Michael Cimbello, who did the song Maniac, and they had been, I guess they'd been acquainted for quite a while. They meant to get together and write some songs, been meaning to get together, write some music, some songs, and they did, but nothing clicked. However, during this time, a lot of technology went into this record. I'm going to get into it just a little bit. I just wish I had a better understanding of all this technology. But here's the deal. David Walensky, Hawk, he had a 24-track studio. And he started messing. He came up with this a beginning of a tune, beginning of a song. Just a beginning. It was just kind of a weird beginning, just kind of funky, funny, just strange. But he used a sequencer or attached a beat to a sequencer and started sounding quite formidable, just something to work with. And then, oh, it gets even better. I'm not even sure what a sequencer is, but he sat down with it was the number 11 Roger Lynn drum machine. The Lynn drum machine is one of the signature sounds of the 80s right there. He sat down with this drum machine. He created this great groove. He created this amazing groove. Cut some deep grooves with that drum machine, and he liked it. It sounded pretty good. But here's the thing. He wanted to create something different. Maybe sort of a syncopated, I can't pronounce words tonight, so bear with me, dance beat, just something different, not a regular 4/4 dance record. One example, he didn't necessarily want the bass guitar to fall in line simultaneously with the bass drum, just kind of have them a little bit out of sync. Well, the bottom line is he liked this track. He created this monster track, this great track. He shared it with Glenn Frey, a friend of his named Glenn Frey. Glenn Frey of the Eagles, of all people. But Glenn Frey was a big R&B fan. He took a listen to Hawk's demo, and his music said, this is number one. And guess what happened next? Hawk, Quincy Jones listened to it. Quincy Jones, who was working with Michael Jackson on the Thriller album, Quincy Jones was interested in that demo. He wanted Michael Jackson to use that music, to use Hawk's demo. But Hawk had promised the producer of Rufus that he would save this song that he created, or this beat, or this music that he created. He will save it for the next Rufus album. But not all the members of Rufus were not thrilled. The guitar player, his name Tony Maiden, was not enthused. He said, okay, we'll use this drum machine. We'll use this drum machine as long as it doesn't lengthen the recording process. He wasn't too crazy about it. A lot of people were not crazy about drum machines. It was just different from having a live drum player. Well, anyway, the group decided to include the song on the album, on the new Rufus album, but they redid the track. And even after they redid it, the record company, I believe it was Warner Brothers, their record company, they wanted to release another cut off the album as a single. But wait, no. Hawk Walensky said, no way. This song Ain't Nobody's coming out as a single. If it does not come out, if you don't he told his record company, he told the record company, if you don't put this out as a single, it's not going to go on the album. I'll give this song, I'll give Ain't Nobody to Quincy Jones so that Michael could do it for the Thriller album. And the record company, well, they put out Ain't Nobody, #1 on R&B. Forgot how high it went on the pop charts, but it sure was played a lot in late 1983. Another thing about Roger Lynn, gotta mention something. I got all this information, a lot of this information, uh, from a book I bought back in the 90s called R&B #1 Hits. Goes from the 60s, mid 60s, all the way to 1991. It's just an amazing book. But Roger Lynn, the guy who came up with the drum machine, apparently at one point he was considered to be a member of Rufus. I think he might have auditioned to be a member of Rufus, but they didn't take him because he didn't sing. And then he tried to get them to interested. Roger Lynn tried to get them interested in investing into his drum machine, and they passed on that too. But the drum machine came into play. His drum machine came into play on this record. Oh boy. But this was fun, talking about this. I had to look over my notes several times to get it down and hot wired to the memory banks. But yeah, Mr. DJ does a little work. Alright, God Ain't Nobody. It's Rufus and Chaka at #5. Fancy playlist November 20th, 1983.